All right, welcome to the second webcast of the Breath of Fresh Air. I'm Charles Taylor, and I have my boy Patrick Brackett with me, and we're about to discuss a few topics going on in sports. We'll start with Patrick, the college football coaches poll. Do you have any complaints about how the top 10 teams came out? We got Ohio State, TCU, Alabama, Baylor, Oregon, Michigan State, Auburn, Florida State, Georgia, and USC. You have any complaints about those top 10 teams and where they were listed?
I absolutely have tons of complaints. First of all, I'm going to start right at USC. I ain't even gonna play this unbiased game. I hate that team. I don't like them. They lose every game. They seem to get like 3 or 4 buys every week or every season. Sorry. And every time I see this team, they're going to get beat by somebody like Arizona, Oregon State, Arizona State, or somebody. I can't stand that team. I don't even know why they're even ranked in the top 90. They shouldn't even be ranked in the top 425, honestly.
Are there even that many schools in Division One?
They might be like 430. But they shouldn't even be ranked. They shouldn't even be in the top 10, much less top 400. I mean, this team is probably going to lose 2 or 3 games this season. I mean, you always tell me, Patrick, don't worry about these polls, man. They're going to work themselves out. I'm just 10, top 10, please. I can't stand that team. I'm not even going to play the unbiased game. I can't stand them. Hate them. What do you think?
You have any more complaints besides USC?
Absolutely. I could go on all day, man. Let's look at Notre Dame. This team got ranked 11th because of why? Give me one good reason this team is even in the top 25. Charles, seriously, I'm being serious. Give me one good reason.
I can't. I'm not gonna say.
See, enough said. And then I'm gonna tell you. Look, Ohio State. Okay, they won the national championship last year. I can see why they're number 1, but when I look up and down, man, I mean, I don't see them ending at number 1. I don't see them ending at number 1. Everybody has even problems with the SEC, man, and these teams they're beating up on each other, and there's only 3 in the top 10. And USC is in the top 10? Give me a break. I mean, I want to take the NCAA and I want to chop them up and throw them in a blender or something.
Or are we going back to the creative players?
Well, I guess that's what the USC. That's what NCAA thinks USC is doing out there, creating players. What is this team ranked 99? Oh wait, they lost 12 games all season. But maybe we shouldn't have put them in the top 25. They're garbage.
Well, Patrick, it is the preseason poll, so I think looking at it, it's not too bad. I don't think Oregon should be as high as they are. I don't think they should be number 5 because I don't think they're that good. I see them catching about 3 or 4 losses in the Pac-12, and
them being State and Auburn is ridiculous. Is ridiculous.
And having who else? Or Ohio State number 1, and I don't have a huge problem with that. I kind of expected them to be there because they had a lot of their people returning from last year's team, and a lot of people had said this was the year where Urban Meyer and that team was supposed to really make a run for a title. They were just a year early, so we'll see how they turn out. But I can see Ohio State catching a loss. I would not be surprised if they lost Monday night on Labor Day against Virginia Tech. I wouldn't be surprised to see that. I don't think they will, but I wouldn't be surprised to see that either. But overall, I don't have a huge problem with the top 10 and even the top 25. I guess we could talk about Notre Dame at number 11. I don't think they deserve to be there either, but I guess it'll work itself out. That's my attitude.
As always, that's what you say. It always works itself out. And I'll give you credit. Most of the time it really does. But I don't know. It's just how can USC keep getting these rankings? That's what gets me is there has to be some underlining money under the table. Has to be. I can't see it. Not to keep consistently getting top 10 positions and falling out of the top 25 consistently every year. I always say, look, I like consistent teams. Well, I give USC this. They consistently suck. So I give them that.
So to top everything off, you mean to tell me you have a problem with USC being in the top 10?
I would say a little one. Just a little one now, not a big one. But like you said, Ohio State, I kind of expected that. They did win the championship. And they really kind of earned that one. It was the whole first
legit playoff, a legit playoff. So we gotta give them credit there.
I give them credit there. I mean, do I like them? No, I'm a Georgia fan through and through. Bulldogs, baby. But Ohio State, I'm not a fan of them. Never was, never will be. But I will give them credit. They played great football in those two games. And they did earn that championship, and Urban Meyer did his thing with that team, and I give them credit. They did their thing.
All right, so we have you not liking USC being in the top 10 at all because you said they shouldn't even be, basically in the FBS. And so,
is that what I'm saying?
You said
okay, yeah, I agree with that.
Even though they have that many teams.
I don't know how many teams is out there, but yeah, they should be playing high school football.
So USC is your biggest problem. Did you have any issues with Oregon being in the top 5 also?
Just the fact that they beat Auburn and Michigan State. I think those two teams were a whole lot better than Oregon. Oregon, if they're anywhere like what they have been in the past, they're going to be a fast team. But doesn't change the fact that you get matched up against a good physical team, and they're probably going to go down. So I assume that they're probably going to get a couple of physical teams. I mean, Arizona State's probably going to play them tough. Oregon State's going to play them tough.
They do go to Michigan State in the second week of the season too. Oregon,
and they go to Michigan State. That's a good point. So I mean, all in all, man, like Oregon, I'm not a fan of them being above Michigan State and Auburn. But that's the one that I will agree with you. It'll work itself out. USC, I can't stand that. But again, they'll lose 3 or 4 games and they'll work themselves out. And Ohio State, they got their number 1. I give them that.
Real quick, Patrick, do you have a problem with Baylor being number 4?
Yes and no. I mean, I like Baylor because they're going to be a pretty physical team. They got a little bit of speed on them, but I'd say they're a top 15 at best, man. I don't see them finishing in the top 5. But yeah, they are a top 15 team.
Yeah, I think they're probably a little bit overrated, man. I mean, I think their offense is going to be good as usual. They're going to put up points, but I don't think their defense can't stop anybody. So, I mean, there'll be a lot of track meets. Yeah, it's 76 to 69.
Yeah, I would expect a couple. I would expect a couple of high scoring games because that offense is pretty potent.
Yes.
But that defense is, I don't even know how to explain that defense.
It's non-existent.
Non-existent, yeah.
Yeah.
No. There's my problems with it. I mean, like you said, for the most part, they'll probably work themselves out. But the only thing that really needs to work itself out is that USC. I can't stand that
crap. All right. On that note, we'll move on. It's funny because I'm not a huge fan of USC either, and I don't understand how they keep getting hypes. Well, so yeah, I'm with you. I think they'll work themselves out to like out out.
Hopefully they'll work themselves out of the FBS
Yeah,
one day.
at least out of any type of contention for a title.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
Moving on, Patrick. We have to talk about some baseball and two very overrated teams who have not seen the expectations they expected throughout the year. Talking about the Washington Nationals and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. So here are the standings. Coming into tonight, the Nats were, I think, 5.5 games behind the New York Mets for first place in the National League East, and I'm not even going to bring them up in the wild card race because they're so far out of that. They're not getting a wild card. The only way they're going to get it
There's
is
only one team coming out of East, and honestly, I'm surprised that's even going to happen. If it wasn't by MLB rules, the fact that they have one team represent a division, none of those teams would be coming out of it anyway.
So I don't even consider them a wild card threat. They're so far behind in that. And 5.5 coming in to tonight's action. So question is it time to go ahead and bury the Nats for the season?
It's time to bury the Nats, period. I told you one time, man, Boston. Look at Boston. This team, they're playing good tonight. I think they're even winning right now, but
yeah, I think 4-2 the last score I saw.
But they're playing the Yankees, and this team, I told you, they need help. I ain't even gonna hold back on the Nationals either. Trade the Bat Boys, trade them all, trade every one of them. I say even tear down the stadium and move it because it's just they're horrible. They need to move the stadium. Trade the stadium off too.
Well, Patrick, they just moved to Washington from Montreal, so they're not going to be trading off any stadiums. But it is time to bury them for the year. Yes, I do not think they're going to catch the Mets. This is a team who has seen all that pitching. Remember when everybody was declaring them to win the whole thing once they got Max Scherzer? Everybody is just the Nationals and everybody else. Well, Scherzer has been up and down more or less. I mean, he started off good in the first half of the year, hasn't been as good in the second half of the year. Your boy Steven Strasburg, he can't stay healthy at all.
That's why they kept him.
and then another thing, when we were talking about
for a pack of Gatorade.
For a pack of So another thing that I did not understand about the Nationals. Remember last week when we talked about the Blue Jays, Cubs, Rangers, and Mets making very good trades to enhance their team's chances of doing something this year. Nationals really didn't do anything. They probably could have used another bat. And on top of that, they traded for Jonathan Papelbon, who they didn't need. They didn't need another closer.
They had a closer.
He's doing fine.
They needed to trade Strasburg for another bat.
And then here's another thing. So Papelbon, I think when he got to Washington, he had been 21 of 21 save opportunities, had not blown a save at all. It's only 21 saves, and he was playing with Philly. So you take what you can get.
Philly's another team. What happened to that team? But you know what? It's Philly's like that. Philly is every team in Philly's like that. They're like, nobody can beat us at losing.
Like they're not gonna out-tank us.
They know out-tank us. We're the best team at losing. Y'all suck. We super suck. That's Philly for you. Every team in Philly.
Yeah, it does seem like.
Watch the Eagles. I'm just saying, watch the Eagles.
Are you just to switch subjects real quick? Are you still saying Tim Tebow's going to be the starter in Week 4?
Yes. Tim Tebow will be the starter in Week 4. They'll be 0-3. Start. They might
That's
go,
another.
he'll win the next 4, and they'll be like, "Oh, we got to put, is it Bradford? We got to put Bradford in. We got to put him back in because he's back from his 15 concussions that he gave himself because he keep hitting his head on the damn wall." Bradford, he's an idiot too. Tebow, week 4.
Well, back to the Nationals real quick. I had to throw that question in there. I just had to.
Of course, and I'll give you an answer.
But yeah, man, I do think it's time to go ahead and bury the Nationals for the year, and it's probably time for them to make some moves. They have to get another bat. Bryce Harper, good player, but he seems to struggle against every elite pitcher in the league.
Wine bag.
And he does cry sometimes too. And
I'm surprised he's crying right now.
Well, hey, give it a little bit. They're playing St. Louis, so they might.
He's probably crying then.
Yeah. because that's probably the official sign they're going to get buried, because that's going to be a sweep. The Cardinals are about to sweep these boys. And if I'm wrong, I'll come back and say I was wrong. But right now, we won't
be doing a webcast on that. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah. All right.
They're about to get sweet. Break out the brooms, break out the dustpans, get the trash cans, put the Washington Nationals where they need to go, in the trash.
Get them out of there. Done for the year.
I'm done.
All right. Well, what about the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim? So now, before I get your response on that, their situation looks a little bit better than the Nationals do. I think they are 3.5 games coming into the night's action. 3.5 games out of the wild card. Texas is the second wild card right now. But do you see any hope for the Angels?
Not with the trades that Texas made, and not with as good baseball as Houston's playing right now. Angels, we expected this to happen from the Angels for all season. We just didn't know who was going to be able to rise to the occasion. Now here is Texas. Last week, if anybody was going to make a huge playoff run and maybe even make it to a World Series in our last webcast, we picked we picked Texas. Nothing's changed with that. Anaheim, they spend all this money for all these bats, and then the bats don't show up. I don't even know why they're a team right now. They need to be buried with the Nationals.
I've been ready to bury the Angels for about 2 months.
Yeah,
and
I think that to bury them longer than I have, and now I'm just ready to put dirt on their graves, call it a wrap. Houston and Texas will be Houston will probably win that division, and Texas will take the wild card. So yeah, Texas. I like Texas, man. Texas made the right trades, and they're in a division that's a little weaker than most. I like Texas, man. I like Texas in that division. Even if they got matched up against Houston, I like Texas in a 7-game series against Houston. I just don't think Houston's pitching's got what it takes to take a team like Texas. So I like Texas's chances, man. I really, really, truly do. Anaheim, on the other hand, I don't like anything about them. They went out and bought all this wood and can't even do anything with it.
Yeah. I mean, I think you have Trout and Pujols, so your 2 main bats. I guess the other dude, Calhoun, to a degree, he's been okay, but besides those 2, they're getting no hitting. The pitching has, ever since they brought Pujols onto the team, their pitching never has really been better than average.
Nope. Pujols is almost cancerous to that team. And that's how bad it is. It's going to take radiation to get him out of there.
And so, with the fact they don't have too many bats in the lineup, you're terrible, Patrick. And with the fact they don't have too many people in the lineup, and the pitching has been suspect, the bullpen has been very suspect. They had their collapse. The team's
still going through it.
Yeah, they're still going through it. They got swept in Cleveland this weekend, or last weekend.
Upset about that.
That's awful. And so you just have a team that
got swept by Philly.
So you just have a team.
Take better than us.
Yeah. Well, the Angels aren't gonna. The Angels, I see them just continuing to go on down. Houston's still playing good ball. Texas is playing real good ball, and then some of those other teams in the wild card, I don't see them even coming close to the Yankees or the Blue Jays, depending on how that works out.
Yep.
So
the Blue Jays winning that division right now too.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, it's time to bury those boys too. So so the Nationals and Angels, yep. I think it's time to go ahead and get on ready for next year. We're going to have an early winter vacation, and all those expectations people have for them just not going to be met.
Nope, not this year. Probably not even next year.
Yeah, I don't see it. Not unless they make some trades.
Well, they got to make the right trades. They can't make just some trades. They got to make the right trades. And you got to start with Strasburg. Get rid of him because he's not going to take you to a World Series.
Yeah. Well, all right. Well, on to our final topic here, Patrick, and we're going to talk about Julio Jones. So he got an extension, 5-year extension for $71 million. So $1 million more on average than the extensions Cowboys receiver Dez Bryant got and Broncos receiver Demaryius Thomas got. It was a 5-year, $70 million extension for their deals.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Julio Jones is on par with those receivers? And did he deserve that type of money?
Well, first of all, $70 million for a wide receiver, I don't think anybody's worth that kind of money. At all. I mean, man, nobody's worth $70 million for 5 years. I give him $10.50 an hour. I mean, he's a wide receiver, and he barely even blocks. And believe me, I'm an Atlanta fan. I love the Atlanta Falcons, man. That's my team, And I'm not happy with it. I mean, Julio Jones is a great wide receiver. I'm not going to take that away from you. And we've discussed this many, many times. This is a pass first league now. They don't do anything in the trenches anymore. I mean, basically, you just got an extra blocker coming out of the backfield. And you may get a few people run every now and then, but this is a pass first league, and I can see where they're trying to lock in these wide receivers for these major deals and giving them a lot of money so they don't go somewhere else and possibly get that money. But I can tell you right now, Demaryius Thomas, Julio Jones, and Dez Bryant. No, I wouldn't give him no $70 million. Be honest with you, I'd probably give him like $30 million over 5 years, and I'd try to keep him at that. But no wide receiver is worth that. Plus, Julio Jones stays injured all the time. I can't give that much money away to a person that's going to be riding the sidelines all the time.
Yeah, you give the players and their agents credit because what they've been doing is taking advantage of the market. It is right now. It's it's overinflated for quarterbacks, and it's pretty much the same for wide receivers because of the whole thing about the league being so pass happy. So
you have some money. Give that offensive line some money.
Yeah.
Create all the time.
Patrick, it's about all the glamour stats. You know that, man. The dudes in the trenches do not get their due. You know that.
That's true. I know, but man,
but I'll take that back though, because Ndamukong Suh got some money. JJY got some money. So the dudes in the trenches on the defensive, and it is a good part, the defensive linemen, because again, since it's a pass happy league, you need pass rushers to disrupt the quarterbacks. So those are the guys who are going to get some money too.
Well, but still, $70 million. I can think of a lot more stuff that could be done with $70 million. I'm going to buy me a new car. I ain't going to give Julio Jones money to go buy a new car. I'm going to go get me a new car. Go get me a boat and a motorcycle. Give Julio Jones $70 million. Here, Julio, you go get your own motorcycle and your own boat.
I can't help but look at your face right now and just notice how salty you're looking right now.
I'm salty as hell over it. Yeah.
Well,
makes me mad they get paid money and I'm out here working my butt off for 40.
You know, hey, I agree. I do agree with that. But
nah, they got a special set of skills, man. You know, I mean, it is what it is. We pick our careers. They pick a career that pays them very well, and good for them for doing it, man. I mean, they put in a lot of practice, put in a lot of hard work, man. I'm not salty. I'm just salty for the fact that, you know, they need to spread the love. Julio Jones don't deserve $70 million, man. I'd be trying to give the linemen more money. They create the time for the quarterback to pass the ball, and they're also taking up a majority of the, you know, they're going through the blunt of all the hard work. I'm trying to spread the love to some linemen, man. I want some good linemen on my team so that it makes Julio Jones' job, it makes Matt Ryan's job, it makes them a lot easier. But $70 million to Julio Jones, I don't like
it. Yeah, again, man, it's just it's that market. And that is the market that's out there. And you're gonna see it probably when AJ Green, the receiver for the Bengals, when he comes up for his deal. He's looking at what guys like Dez Bryant, Demaryius Thomas, Julio Jones, even Megatron up in Detroit, Calvin Johnson. He's looking at these deals.
Contract's coming up due next year, at the end of next year.
Yeah, but even his contract was 16. His was 16 million. He's getting around 16, 17 million a year with his contract. So
did he sign his contract last year?
No, he signed his contract a few years ago.
Oh, I missed that then.
Yeah. So
I mean, coming due. I guess AJ Green's contract is the one that's coming due then.
Yeah, his is coming due, and I mean his and Julio Jones are coming due at the same time. The Falcons just took it upon themselves to go ahead and get Julio's done. So I guess Cincinnati's still trying to negotiate AJ Green's deal, but yeah, I think Julio Jones is a phenomenal. I think he's a phenomenal receiver too. I don't know if he's as good as even Dez Bryant or Demaryius Thomas, just for the simple fact he's not on the field. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I can understand if he was on the field, but he misses time.
A lot of time, too. A lot. I mean, that guy was out 3 injuries last year, barely even played 5 games. And now you're trying to give him $70 million for 5 years. That's like giving him $5 million a game. Because the rest of the time he's absent.
So $14 million a game.
Sick leave. He's taking too much sick leave right now.
Sick leave.
He is butt out on the field.
Well,
he's taking too much sick leave, man. He sounds like me. I take too much sick leave.
Yeah, I remember those days. So so to top this one off, so you're not happy with the Julio Jones contract. You just think it could be kind of spread around to other players on the team.
I'm not happy with the contract. I'm glad that he's there. I mean, you know, with me being an Atlanta Falcon fan, I'm glad that he's there. I don't think he's worth that amount of money.
Yep. And I'm just going to say, man, he took advantage of the market. It's the market that's out there for these receivers.
Hey,
they got a bargaining trip to it. Huh?
I said, you can't fault his agents for that, man. They work in the system. You work the system, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I work the system if I could. They're going to pay me $71 million. I'll sign that contract and let everybody like me hate on me. I hate that Patrick Bradley guy. He made $70 million over 4 years. I'd be like, whatever. People like me can just keep on hating. So I'll take that money, man. But I'm not the one getting that money, so I'm hating.
So you hating? Just hate all day long, huh? So it's pretty bad trade, Patrick, just so you know. That's pretty bad.
I am who I am.
Gotta be who you are in this world, right?
If you ain't gonna be who you are, then you gotta be Batman.
Well, on that note, that concludes the second edition of the Breath of Fresh Air webcast. Please subscribe to the Breath of Fresh Air channel and also leave comments for us. Let us know what you like. Let us know what you didn't like. And we'll be sure to respond to the comments so we can be better for the next time. Until next time, I'm Charles Taylor. That was my friend Patrick Brackett on here with me. And we will talk later.